back or to the channel. So we're back on the coffee table build. We're gonna button this thing up today. I'm hoping that I'll be able to get everything done and one coat of stain on it at least. I'm looking forward to seeing what it's all about. Stain. Let me grab the stain and I'll show you what I got. I did a little bit of shopping. So I had refinished our table a while back, and actually I have a video on it. So the actual stain is an oil-based stain, and it's called ebonine. It's one step lower than being black. It's very dark. We also went ahead and I got an oil-based matte finish. I want the table to be shiny, okay? We've got some sand blocks and some nice brushes to clean things up and paint the varnish on. The table I did spray at one point. I'm not going to take out the spray or spray this. It was just too much work for such a small project. I am going to brush it on and I'll do a roll, like a sponge roller for the top, so it'll come out smooth. Most likely it'll require more than one coat of stain. Sometimes two, sometimes three. There's different tricks in order to deepen the look where you mix the urethane and stain together and give it a coat, and then you let it dry, you steel wool it, and then you go back and take a look. That you can also do. But we're gonna prep this guy up and get it ready, and then we're gonna move on. So guys, what I'm gonna do is I've got this already set up the last video. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna clean it up with the belt sander a bit. I'll be very careful. I'm not gonna belt the veneer, of course, but enough that I can get the top smoothed out. Then we're gonna maybe a hand block sander and sand the sides up. But I'm gonna try to clean that up. Let's see how she goes. So guys, I'm going to give it a quick 1-2 with the palm sander. It's pretty good. We're going to get a block and I'm going to lightly go over the edges. And we bought some new ones. Let's find where they are. We're just going to lightly go over the edge, and then I'll take some sandpaper this is where the seam was. What I did is I put a little bit of putty on it, and I got a steel brush. And all I'm going to do is just go in and lightly scratch that putty. And we'll lightly sand. Got a little too much putty there. So we're gonna let that dry. I did poke through, which is no good, but it should be okay. It was only one little corner. I got a little carried away on sanding, so I'm hoping that once that putty dries, it'll hold up tight. So let me move my stuff around. So what we're going to do is show you how it looks. It actually came out very, very nice. You hear the little wood pieces that are in there. Very happy with that. And let me get this on the stand out of the way for now. So I'm going to move this over here. That's for an upcoming project. And we're just going to pop this guy up here for a minute. It should be okay. We'll dust this off, we'll move the top on there, and then we'll get ready to mount that. So what I'm going to do now is we're getting into the nitty gritty. So what I mean by that is I can't really put stuff on that table because of the black paint and everything else that's on it. So I'm going to grab a towel. And we want to make sure that we have somewhat of a clean surface. We don't want to have to start sanding stuff down again for no reason. And I'll put this top on there. Okay. Now there's a little spot here that's got to be sanded. And we're going to get ready to mount that piece. So what I'm going to do is, if you guys remember, I had that drill bit, right? So I'm going to show you what I'm actually going to do with it. Where is it? There it is. I mean, I could sit here and pick on every single little piece. And that's could happen. All right, so I got my drill bit. I think this is the right one that I had. Just place that in there. So the drill bit is basically gonna give us the center point. And there's a hole on this right in the center. And we'll line that up, push it down, and we should be good to go. Now I need some screws, so I can screw that in. I'm gonna screw it and glue it. I think I've got long enough screws to make that happen. I'm not sure if these are long enough. Let me see. I think so. You don't want them to poke through. Oh yeah, that should be good. We'll leave that here. Let me get us Robinson. And drill. I get an extension. And I need a battery. That. Wrong one. What did I do with the other? Oh, there it is. Okay, wrong one. This is the one I want. And my extension. Put that in there. Okay, so I'm gonna break in my glue, and they gave me a new one, which was nice of them. It's funny, because the other one I dropped multiple times, and it never snapped. And this one here, first time I drop it, it snapped, which is kind of weird. Anyway. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of glue here. A little bit of glue here. And then a little bit of glue right around the edge. Now, do I need to? No. Do I want to? Yes. Now the piece that's going up against this is the one that's the construction grade, right? I'm just putting glue right around the edge. And we're just gonna we know it's about 4 inches. There we go. Generous amount, should be good. Put the lid back on this thing so if I do drop it, plastic seems to be pretty brittle. So now we're gonna line up that hole with that. That's the art part. There we go. Dead center. Just like that. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a rub. Twist. And we're good. We're going to put 4 screws through that. Oops. Got some glue coming out the sides, but that's okay. I'll wipe it up. And just make sure that I got it. Yep. Sitting tight. Go. Missing one screw, and that's not the right one. Put that one back. I'll grab another one. That's the right one. There we go. Let me wipe that excess off. I'm going to need some of these rags. I don't want to use them all, but I don't want to leave them there either. Sure I'm not dripping out anywhere else. We're good. Okay, nice. Okay, we'll give that a few minutes just to set up a little bit, and then we'll get her upright, and we'll move on to our next thing to do on this, guys. And that's going to be a fun part. I'll show you what I got in mind for this thing. And I'm going to surprise my wife by doing it, because she really liked something that she saw. So I had ordered something special for this table. So you guys will get to see what I got coming up. And I'm really happy with that. We're going to need a milk crate, I think, to kind of set it up right. I think I've got 2 of them, and one out here somewhere that I can use. Or, yeah. Oops. I'll use this one here. I'll get the tires and casters in there. For another project. So once that's going to give it a few minutes to settle in there with the glue, then I'm going to flip it over, I'm going to put it onto that milk crate, and then I'll show you what I got in mind. Okay guys, so I've got her down on the milk crate. And let me tell you, doing that on my own, it's definitely a challenge, and it's heavy. I'm really happy on that profile and what it was looking like. Looks good. Okay, so the idea here with this, guys, is we always lack storage. And this is a nice container to say that we can use for storage. So the game plan, I thought, I saw a piece of furniture that had the actual top lifted, so you could use it, I guess, as a higher coffee table type of idea. And it was all open at the bottom and you could see the floor. And I thought, well, hold on a second. I could do something on this that would do the same deal. The top would lift. We'd have a cylinder that we could use for blankets, books, whatever you want to store in there. And then we could lower it back down and cover it. We could lift it with stuff on it, which is awesome because it stays flat, which I thought was great instead of having something like with a hinge per se. So I ordered something, and let me pull it up. Not sure if you guys can see it up here or not, but I'll take it out and I shall show you what it's all about. And I think we'll get a snip and we'll snip off those. Now, I did open it, I did take a look of what it's all about, and I think it's going to work out perfectly. This holds up to 120 pounds, so I'm hoping that it'll hold that cover, that top nice and easy. It's got shocks, and it's adjustable. So watch this. Ain't that cool? Of course this would be flush, right? And I'd have it up higher, but that's what it would be. And of course that would come down. Just something like that. Now, what might be a concern is the weight aspect. So I might have to make sure this is sitting in the middle. If for say that I have it open and this thing wants to tip forward, I will, you know the 4 holes that I had drilled at the bottom? I will flip it over and fill it with either gravel or just something to add some more weight. But I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think. I guess the only way to figure that out is actually do it. So we want it pretty wide. The wider we go, the more even we distribute the weight. I think that's going to work out nice. And then this just folds back down, guys. So it's, and there it goes. And it'll sit flush. I think that's going to look pretty cool. I think that's going to work out quite nicely. Okay, so let's mark things up. Let's see if I can make this happen. So the game plan is spacing. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and cut the half moon, because I feel like once I got that half moon cut, I'll be in a better position to figure out where I'm at. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this out. I'm going to drill a hole because I want rounded corners. Actually, what I should do is put it. Actually, I think I can get away with this one. Maybe I should put a better blade on this guy. Yeah, I think I better put a better blade on. Can I put a better blade on this guy? Probably not. Okay, so let's do it without. So we want to be right in that corner. here, and we should be good. And we'll cut that half moon out, and then I can do the measurements. So what I did is I went a little more narrower of spacing in the front because I feel like I'm losing too much access to the space. So I did half. Instead of being 4 inches, I did 2 inches. And I think I'm gonna be okay. I'm going to be okay with that. So then I can cut in here, cut up, and I'll drill 2 holes there later. But for now, I think I'm going to cut this out, and then we'll see where we're at. Let me get my jigsaw. Go. So now we just got to round off these corners, and I will use a piece of wood that I already cut. I'll take my drill bit up, just grab a plier. There's lots of room in there, guys. Well, that should work out well. Just take this. Corner there. Corner there. That should work out. We'll clean it up. Let me just see how that piece fits, if it does fit. This one's going outward. Nice. Nice, guys. Okay, guys, I have to pull the table saw out. We've got to cut a strip at 4 inches to support that that hinge. So I'm going to grab a piece of that ply I've got. I'm going to cut 4 inches out of it. I've got 2 pieces I can do. Not this guy. I think that's, I'm going to wait 4 inches out of that. Okay. Things are getting carried away here a little. I'm not. You know what? That's it. All right, let me grab one of my other pieces. That should do it. All right, let's cut 4 inches. Clear with that. Move this over a bit. Try that again. Alright, we got those 4 inches cut. So what I'm going to do now is we got to measure the length inside there. And we need the tape measure. So I think I can get away with what? I want it a little longer. So I'm going to say 15 inches. Yeah, we should be able to do 15 inches. Alright, so let's get the measure saw plugged in. Put this guy back in place and out of the way. Okay guys, so I'm going to just dry fit this first, and we're going to do one that would fit would be nice. Why don't we put a drop of glue on that one now? We'll screw that one in. Okay. And the other drill is here. Where's the bit? This is what happens when the tools start getting thrown everywhere, guys. Don't like it. Don't like the mess. But what are you gonna do? What did I do with those screws? And I think we're gonna be okay. There we go. Let me put the cover back on this glue so we don't break it again. All right, so now we need to line up these hinges and hope for the best. So these slide into each other. And then there's self tappers that go into these. Not bad. Okay, let me go get 2 screws and we'll screw those in. And then we'll try to line up the top. So I'm just going to put 4 screws in for now, 2 on each side. Just to make sure that it doesn't go anywhere. Go. Not bad, guys. And this, nice. And once you put the things on, you can straighten these out. That pressure, they don't have to be too, wow, that looks great. Okay guys, so I couldn't get the 2-way tape to stick, so what I did is I measured it and marked it in hopes that I can get it to sit right. I'm going to put it in an open position. We're going to move this down just a bit so it doesn't tip, and we're going to try it. I'll put a screw in it and see what happens, and we'll go from there. My only concern right now is that we don't have, we're going to need weight. So I'm going to throw a little bit of tools inside here to try to create some weight. It's interesting how things I've done sometimes work and sometimes don't. And unfortunately that didn't work. I'll put these 2 in there, I'll add some extra weight. So what we're going to do is I'll line it up on there. See what happens. Does okay. Sure hope that works. Okay, let's put a screw in it. Worst comes to worst, I'll be filling up some screws. See, that's the problem. So do I try it with just 2 screws? Let's try it. Wow. I think I got it. I think I got it. I might have to move a bit. But where's my stick? It's not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Wow, guys. Thought that was going to be a hell of a lot more complicated than that. Let's see how easy it is to lift. I am so happy with that. That is cool. Okay, let's add 2 more screws and then see. It always adjusts slightly either way, so that's good. Just want to make sure. Good enough for now. Let's try the closed position again. Wow, that looks good. Let's try the open position. So remember, I have a notch here, so I know that's where I have to open it from, right? So, and she's got lots of room to put stuff in here, which is awesome. I'm gonna clean all that out. But yeah, that's good. We'll tighten up those hinges, put more screws in there. But for now, she's good. Hey, good morning guys. We're back on the coffee table. It was a late night last night. By the time I cleaned everything up, I didn't have it in me to start staining. Plus I wanted all the dust to settle down. This morning here in TO, it's a little bit of a chilly morning. I got the heaters turned on here in the shop just to get rid of the dampness. So we're gonna go ahead and give this coat, give this thing a coat of stain, and let's see how she comes out. So what I'm doing, this is an oil-based stain. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna rag it on. So I use a clean rag. You can use shop towels if you want, but I find using a half-decent rag is the right way to do it. So what I do is shake the stain a bit, and then just lightly apply. So I don't know if you guys can see my back there a bit. I'm just constantly moving the stain around. Now the cool thing about the stain itself is that it'll absorb. You want to try to keep it as even as you can. There's something satisfying about staining. You know, something that you built. Look at that. That's looking awesome. Now I have a video where I redid our kitchen table. And I had sanded it right down. It was like a redwood. And of course we're changing, you know, our look. Any indentations, you got to make sure you get right in there. I saturate really well. Try to put it on as even as I can. Now you can give this multiple coats depending on where you're, you know, the depth that you want. There are tricks in order to get it to look and feel darker. You want to deepen the look. What I'm going to do is get it stained on the outer shell, and then I'm going to take it, lift the top up, and I'm going to try to get all those pencil marks removed. I'm not going to sand it, I'm just going to use an eraser to try to get rid of most of it. I don't want to sand too much in there. And I haven't really decided on what I want to do on the inside of this thing. I'm going to sleep on it a bit. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. Well, so now this is just squeezing in between. Okay guys, first coat's done. She's looking pretty sweet. So guys, I've got the top removed, and you can notice that I trimmed off the tape that I had. And I just basically took my X-Acto knife and traced it out, and now I'm removing it. This way I can remove the screws. I can stain the top, and I can leave the tape where it is. This way when I put the hinge back on, I know exactly where it'll go. And the base portion of it is pretty straightforward. It fits in tight, and you can just put the screws back where they were. So let me finish taking the tape off of this, and we'll stain the top. And then we're gonna go back here again. And what I gotta do is remove all the pencil marks. I gotta fill in these holes and stain it once again. But she's looking pretty good. So let me get on that. So there you go, guys. That's what it looks like once I took that stand out. I'm gonna leave the tape there. I'll clean up the edges a bit, and we'll stain around it. This way, when we put that back on, we're good to go. It's lined up perfectly. There you go, guys. I've got the second coat on stain. Pretty well the darkness that I'm looking for, so I'm happy with that. Bring it on over here, I'll show you. I stained the inside. What I might do is, you can see where the glue marks were. And once the stain is dried, I'll varnish everything. And then what I'm gonna do is I'll tape around those edges, and then I will throw some black paint on the outside walls to cover all that. But there she goes. She looks really, really clean. Very happy with that. Stain's a really nice stain. It's dark, but it's not black. And it gives the wood a little bit of texture. Well, it shows the texture in the wood, which is awesome. Now you can tell the difference, of course, because this is the maple ply, and it's going to give it a little bit of a different look in comparison to the oak. The oak is a lot more greenier, and actually looks really, really nice. Quite happy with the look. So we'll let things dry up, and then we'll put some varnish on it. Now the varnish that I'm using is a matte finish, so it's not going to be shiny. I think it'll look nice once it's done. So guys, we've got a coat of varnish on it. It's looking pretty good. So what I'm finding is, once I did the varnish, some of the stain came up, and that happens. It's still a little tacky. So I want to get it a little deeper than that. It's really interesting because on camera it looks lighter than it actually is. I guess with the reflection of light, kind of does that. But let me bring you on over, and I'll bring you over to the top. And when you look at this top, it's kind of brown, more of a browny look. And we want it more of a deeper, somewhat similar to that. Now it still feels a little tacky. So the game plan for me now is let this dry. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a combination. And I'm gonna do a combination of varnish and stain. So basically, I'm gonna tint the varnish with the stain that I have, and we're gonna brush that on and deepen it up a little bit. Once this is dry, what I'll do is I'll give it a light coat of steel wool. Is it 4 zeros, I think is the number of the steel wool, so it's the finer one. Wipe it down and then do the stain again. So guys, video's getting a little long, so I'm gonna cut it here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hopefully you guys will consider subscribing. It really does help me out. And if you like, give me a thumbs up. Look forward to seeing you on the next one. The next one, we'll definitely button this one up, and we'll get to enjoy it. Thanks so much, guys. Thanks for watching.